The Wellness Show, Episode 17.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyhson Banighen, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. Welcome to The Wellness Show, and today I'm excited to have my guest, Brenda Lainof, and she's going to talk to us about abundance from many different perspectives. So, Lena, when you're talking about abundance from many perspectives, what are you talking about?
Well, I think people think about abundance as only financial abundance, and it's so much more than that. And that is what I've discovered. Many years ago, I thought I was living my life in abundance. I was living in the corporate world. I have over three decades experience in the corporate world. We had our beautiful acreage in the foothills. We had a beautiful property in Arizona. Our kids were having everything they could possibly need. My husband and I were making wonderful money. I thought I was living my life in abundance. But honestly, Tyhson, I wasn't. And everything was looking just great on the outside. When people would look at us, it was like, wow, look what they're doing. But on the inside, my life was falling apart.
So abundance is an inside job.
It is an inside job, and there's so many facets to it. It's abundance not only on financial, but emotional, physical, psychological, on a psychic level, on all levels. You need abundance on every level to really, truly be living our life in abundance. You just cannot have one without the other. And I had a lot of hard lessons along the way that showed me, okay, Brenda, you want to know what abundance is? You're in for some hard knocks.
Wow. So that descent was that over a period of time, or was it pretty swift, or how did that happen for you?
Well, I didn't realize it, Tyhson, but all those years I was living my life as an empath, and I didn't know what an empath was. I am so susceptible to picking up on other people's energies, and I didn't have the confidence or the tools at the time when I was working in the corporate world to deal with being an empath, and I think a lot of people are. They don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I'm now sharing with corporations, entrepreneurs, and individuals. I'm going to give them tools so they can live their life in true abundance. So I think a lot of people are empaths, and empathic people, we're referred to as dreamers and idealists, and we have this kind of accidental power where essentially we're walking around on the world with accumulated karma, emotions, and energies from others. And what happens is that a lot of the stuff that I was picking up, it really wasn't mine. I was picking up energies from others, but I didn't know it. I spent most of my life really living with a lot of self-doubt, insecurity, and I was a people pleaser. So throughout my whole life, I never truly fit in really anywhere.
So how did you come to the realization that you were an empath?
I had a lot of health issues. My body was screaming out to me. So all that time that I thought I was so abundant, that life stress, it was like, listen to me, and I would not listen. I was discounting my body, and I paid the price. My cortisol levels went right through the roof. My body got into this retaliatory response, and my body was falling apart year by year. So throughout all those 3 decades of working in the corporate world, I had health challenges. I had emergency surgery with my fallopian tubes removed, endometriosis, hysterectomy, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis. I was at work and my thumb literally fell apart. How does that happen? It was crazy. I was just totally exhausted. And after many surgeries, procedures, and pushing on with life, that last straw was when I was encouraged to have a day surgery in 2006. Because I was getting this burning sensation in my right ovary. My mother had died of cancer. Her mother had died of cancer. And I knew I had to go in. I knew I had to have this looked at. So I went in to the hospital. It was supposed to be day surgery. And I go in. My husband's dropping me off. He's also very intuitive. We both had this ominous feeling like, right, something's not right here. And immediately when I went under anesthesia, I went into cardiac arrest. I was gone. I had a near-death experience.
Wow, so that must have woken you up to a whole new reality.
Oh, did it ever. When I woke up, the nurse said to me, you know what happened? And it was like, of course. I'm like, no, you had a cardiac arrest and we're moving you to the cardiac unit in the Foothills Hospital. So they wheeled me up to the cardiac unit. It was so nice to me, Tyson, that first day. They were so great to me and so wonderful. But that night, well, I guess in the early morning between 2 and 3, there's this woman, she stood right beside my bed. And I remember because I was looking at the clock on the wall. And she said to me, Brenda, this wasn't supposed to happen. It was an accident. I have to tell you, Tyson, every time I tell that story, I just get a chill because I really feel that was my angel. I never saw this lady ever again. She was never there again. And that second day in the hospital was like somebody turned off a switch. I was treated so differently by the staff. They were very cool and distant. And I was so bewildered, like, what is going on? So I believe I reacted to the anesthesia. I was encouraged to do a lawsuit. I decided I was not going to go that route. And I knew at a soul level, I made this contract. This was part of my journey. And so I came back with such a strong sense of urgency, strength, and courage that I had never experienced before. I knew without a doubt that this is something that I had to go through. So my heart and my soul were truly revived. You know, Tyson, when I was in the hospital, I felt like this energy, a bare energy, just jumped into my heart. And it was screaming out self-empowerment. So I knew I had to get ready to live and share that self-empowerment with others. That was my mission. That's why I'm still around. And I had my work cut out for me because I was pretty angry. I had to do a lot of forgiveness work, and it took years and a lot of healing. I had to forgive the medical community. I had to forgive myself for being so hard on me. I was so hard, so judgmental on me. So throughout those years, I had been drawn to many healing modalities. And it was the last number of years when I was consulting part-time in the oil and gas industry that I was able to step into more time of the work that really fulfills me, what I'm doing full-time right now. So I've been trained in numerous modalities. And it's been within the last 7 years that I've assisted worldwide neuro and cancer coach Bill Henderson. And I have worked on multitude of people over 7 years, releasing their trauma and limiting beliefs and blocks and emotions that contributed to the breakdown of the body. And I love working with the heart wall and finding out what's blocking people from living that abundance and their soul purpose. You know, attracting that right relationship, having abundance in every avenue of their life and every level of their life. I love doing the work.
So tell me, I understand a bit about what the heart wall is, but I'm not sure people on the show will understand that. So could you explain about what the heart wall is all about?
Well, I think one of the modalities I've been working with, and I've looked at quite a bit, is a modality of the body code, emotion code, is taught by Dr. Bobby Nelson, who is a holistic chiropractor. So there's balls of energy, and how he describes it can come into our body with the size of an orange to the size of a cantaloupe. And unless we release those, they can create infestation, congestion, confusion in the body. So the heart wall, everyone, if you're a human being, you're going to have a heart wall. And it's a wall we put around to protect ourselves. You know, when somebody dies of a heart attack, they've got a broken heart. There's so many emotions that we can bring in. So on a heart wall, once you start releasing those emotions that are blocking you from giving and receiving love from the relationship, from moving forward in your soul purpose, once those start to release, I'll tell you, you feel so much lighter and so much brighter. It's a fantastic, fantastic feeling.
Well, that sounds really, really empowering. The question I have in my mind is, you're doing the type of work as a wellness provider or a wellness coach or mentor, but you're interested in the whole area of corporate, the corporate structure, the corporate way that you make decisions, the tension that comes in that, looking at new ways to do that. So how do you bring about that marriage? I would think that this is relatively new for a corporation to begin to understand that the wellness of their employees is a vital component to their happiness and, of course, to their bottom line. So how do you do that?
Absolutely, it affects their bottom line. So as you may know, there's a real shift that's happening in the world on so many levels, and particularly in the province of Alberta, that's in Canada. Well, for in fact, all of Canada, we just recently, I've heard the number where 100,000 jobs have been lost very, very quickly.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people, a lot of families, a lot of broken hearts. And when you come into a corporation, it's getting into the HR and saying, this is my story. I have lived and breathed it over 30 years. I've been on disability twice. The insurance company had to pay. You're paying to the insurance company. Wouldn't it be wonderful to give your employees tools so that they can be empowered, so that they can deal with the everyday stress, some simple techniques. And this is a new way of doing business. And if you want to be in the forefront, then you have to change. There's a whole new paradigm that's shifting right now. And wouldn't it be wonderful to be in a place where people want to work for you? You may have the option of who you're hiring because of the way that the economy is right now, but ultimately you want the brightest, you want the best, and you want loyal people, not ones that are fearing their jobs. So I'm here to teach you how to move from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, how you can help your employees be empowered, and simple tools that they can take on so they are productive, so they're not taking off sick days. It's to nobody's benefit, either the company or the employees, to be taking time off and being on disability. Because I can guarantee them, the stress that these people are under right now is horrendous. And by giving them the tools that they can immediately work with, they are going to really give benefit to the company. And at the end of the day, everybody wins.
So I would think that would be helpful to have as part of a severance package as well, as you have to do downsizing or lay off because of the decrease in the oil and gas industry. There needs to be some compensation. Maybe these are the sorts of packages that would help make that transition, right?
Oh, I believe so. And when you can bring in the work of, quote, doctors, for example, who I'm trained under, it gives it absolutely more credibility too.
Mm-hmm.
The modalities, there's still a lot of hesitation when you mention modalities in the general world, but there's more also levels of acceptance of it. For example, Reiki is now being more recognized and accepted in hospitals. So there is a shift that's occurring. I think this is the perfect time. I think this is a perfect time for getting into these corporations and working with entrepreneurs, working with individuals, getting them empowered. I didn't recognize myself as an empath all those years, and perhaps that was the way that it was intended to be for me, so that I could come in at this time and really share my experience. All my health issues, all those times of being off of work, perhaps it's not necessary. and perhaps there's new ways of looking at things and how we can work together and really assist one another in moving into these new times.
Yeah, it sounds to me like it might be the beginning of a mentorship program where you maybe get an opportunity to teach some key people in industries what this all means so that they can learn these skills of de-stressing and helping their employees and then take those skills back in the corporation. It seems to me it's almost like maybe you need to pull them out for a while to have them feel what it is like to be in a supportive, encouraging environment, how to make decisions cooperatively and collectively, how to support other people. I mean, there's so many new things I would think to learn given the way that business normally is run in a more sort of cutthroat manner.
Yes. The cutthroat manner is going out the door. I think we all know that more and more corruption is being exposed. And so, it's not the way that we're going to be doing really having successful businesses in the future. There are ways of coming into corporations, and it can be in a way that everybody understands. One great way that I love working with is doing some lunch and learns. So it's pretty easy. There's a lot of companies, not just oil and gas companies, but companies everywhere. They have their boardroom. People come in. You give your free presentation and give them some hope. Show them some simple tools. So it's a wonderful way to start the momentum.
Yeah, I like that. And it's not threatening. Just bring your lunch and you get half an hour to improve your life. What could be better than that?
It's perfect. And how many wonderful tools out there. I've been trained in EFT as in practice in many, and over a multitude of many years. And thank goodness, because I do believe that that is why I'm alive. I honestly do. Before I went into the hospital, had that cardiac arrest, I happened to have taken another level of EFT the weekend before. And what was interesting, Tyson, is that I was like crying in front of the class. And I just at an intuitive level, I know by releasing a lot of these emotions, that was something I needed to do at a soul level. This cardiac arrest, I had to go through it. And I'm grateful for that, because that's what pushed me to finally, like, Brenda, you jump in. I came back from that experience. We had an acreage out in the country. I had such crazy things happening. I had a moose charge me in my backyard. So I was living a little bit like, remember the show Green Acres? And I was actually, we had these miniature donkeys, and I was feeding them hay in our little acreage, and I had this moose charge me. And I was upset at this moose. Well, you don't get angry at a moose. You actually, run and get away. But I had, honestly, that energy that I had, I was just so feisty. It's just like, don't you dare charge me. And I had some very interesting pivotal moments and times after that cardiac arrest. So I'm pretty fearless right now, to be honest. I have nothing to lose. I want to share this information. I really love empowering. I coach. I do a lot of coaching. People can get in touch with me. I work on Skype around the world. So I do a lot of Skype calls. And what I love doing, just getting an evaluation done. Some people will say to me, for example, I work with somebody in Georgia, a young man, 31 years old, and he booked an hour session. Well, he wanted to look as to relationships, about a new job, and with something else. I said, okay, so you want to do this in an hour? So it was like, what it really came down to? We really had to go to that heart wall. Because in the heart wall, once you start releasing those emotions, it then opens up, and he felt lighter. In fact, his pain on his left side of his body started to diminish. So when I do my readings, people will find that there's actually pain that can be released, because you're releasing those emotions that can be blocked in your body. And I check on so many levels. You can check on energies and circuits and systems and toxicities and pathogens and misalignments. There's so many levels. And I'm just communicating with your higher self as to what is going on, what's creating these issues. And it's amazing. And I love to teach. So it's not that just that I'm saying, okay, what I'm discovering is that you have a trapped emotion that came in at 2 years old. I'm working with the person and I'm teaching. I'm empowering them. It's, again, all about self-empowerment. So you're learning with me. I will teach you. I will teach you to start working on yourself. We can work with practitioners, but ultimately, people want to do, well, they want to have the tools. Corporations want the tools. Entrepreneurs want the tools. Individuals want the tools that they can really start working on themselves immediately. That's the type of information that I love to share.
Well, I know you and I have talked about we're going to do a joint show. So I would like to let everybody know that the week after the shows, on the Tuesday, we're going to do a joint teleclinic together, and we're going to take questions and answers from you, the public, and we're going to do our wizardry right then and right there for you, and help unblock whatever needs to be unblocked. I know I'm excited about that. So we're going to play tag teams. So we'd like to invite people along to do that. So we're getting near the end of the show, and I know that you have a program that you want to talk to people about. So could you tell them what that program is and how they can get involved?
Okay, so what I'm calling is a breakthrough session. So for anyone that's listening to Tyhson right now, in the future, you can come to me and you're going to be receiving a session, and we're going to be doing some work. I'm going to be checking through to see if there's any blockages that you have. Just basically doing a scan of the body, where are some of these blockages, and what do we need to concentrate on. And within that 20-minute time, I guarantee I'll release some trapped emotions for you, and you're going to feel it, and it's going to really open up your mind. So that's what I'm offering there. And also, when you sign up for my newsletter, go to whisperingenergetic.ca. That's whisperingenergetic.ca. Right then and there, you'll have access to 3 meditations. You're going to receive in my newsletters my monthly healing spot clearing show. So where you'll call in, and like Tyhson and I will be doing, somebody will call in and they'll say, okay, I have a pain, for example, on the left side of my neck. Well, intuitively, I'll check what that is through a process of muscle testing, checking what is it, and then I'm going to be clearing by way of a magnet. Because the magnet is going to be drawing out that was invulnerable before, and now it's vulnerable. So you're going to see how that works. You're going to feel it. And also, I have a whole array of radio shows that I host, and there's doctors on there, there's cancer survivors, there's people who've had angelic help from BC, throughout the United States, Alberta, throughout Canada. So it's a really great different array of speakers, and whatever you're drawn to. I just love to share people's talents and get people connected. So that's something I love to do as well. So I invite you.
What's the name of the show?
Well, people can go to my website as to whisperingenergetic.ca, and I have my shows that are archived on there.
Oh,
so
great.
It's whisperingenergetic.ca. And, if you're interested in a session that I just mentioned, a breakthrough session, just email me or go to my website. But my email address is Lainof, Brenda, spelled Lainof, Brenda, the number 4, the number 9, @gmail.com. Just say, hey, I heard you on the radio show with Tyhson, and I will give you that complimentary session, value $49.
Well, thank you ever so much for being on the show. It was a pleasure. I look forward to doing a teleclinic with you, and I look forward to doing all sorts of things in the future to help all the people out there find their true nature, be totally abundant in all the ways that you're talking about from a holistic perspective. So thank you for showing up. It was a pleasure to interview you today. So
thank you, Tyhson, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
All right.
I look forward to our times together. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.